when it comes to the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro and the FX6, there's so much layer to the image of the 6K Pro that I feel like I'm missing with the Sony FX6. If you ask most people, what do you think about the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro? Most of them, they will tell you this camera has a very bad battery life, has a very bad autofocus, and the IBIS, it's terrible or it does not have one, and they will tell you the shape is not good. And something that I've come to understand is that those people are not actually wrong, but what is wrong is the perception they have about this camera and the box that they have put the camera in. Hence why I'm making this video. What we're going to do, we're going to see what this camera is and what this camera is supposed to do, and your responsibility as a creator that you have to also give this camera some level of attention for it to give you the best image quality possible. I'm also going to share some corporate work that I've done with this camera, some music video and some online form video that have generated over 100 billion views. And if you're a fan of a music genre called drill, you will definitely love those videos, and I'm sure you've seen some before. So one thing that I've actually noticed is that every time when I'm shooting with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro or the 6K, someone will come to me and say, oh bro, this is the camera that I was going to get, but I do not like how bad the battery life is. And I'm like, oh really? Is that the only thing? They'll be like, actually there's two more. The autofocus is terrible, and I also don't think it's good because it doesn't have the IBIS or in-body image stabilization. And after when they finish talking, I usually bring all these things to their attention. Do you understand that this is not a hybrid camera? Do you understand that this is not a mirrorless camera? Do you understand that this is not a point and shoot camera? And yes, everything that you're saying is right about this camera, but you also need to understand what this camera is. And let me explain this to you, and some of you already know. This is a cinema camera, meaning it's a camera that is designed for so many applications that does not require point and shoot very quick and fast like you think. Yes, you can still put the camera on and shoot fast, but it goes deeper than what most people want this camera to do. And for me as a DP director, I do not mind shooting with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K and 6K Pro, even the 4K, because I know what this camera can achieve, or I know what this camera can output. And something that I had to do, or something that I must do every time when I get the camera, is understand the camera's weakness and understand the camera's strengths. Once you as a creator, you understand your camera's strengths and your camera weakness, and you focus more on elevating every type of weakness that this camera does or have, it become a perfect camera. And one of those things to me was that understanding that this is a give and take situation. I'm going to put a V mount on my Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro, meaning I give the camera a long battery life that also helped me to shoot faster and quick and power every other accessories, because this camera have the raw power and there's a raw responsibility that I must understand as a filmmaker. And if you say the battery does die quick, yes, you are right. But what do you expect when you outputting 6K ProRes 10-bit 422 or you shooting Blackmagic RAW? Obviously the processing power, there's so much that goes inside the camera that you don't see, and those things require high voltage or more powers. And so many people also talk about autofocus, and yes, the camera does not have autofocus, but it's not really made to be like a fast hybrid camera that just point, shoot and track and get focus. its autofocus is very basic, and because Blackmagic doesn't really focus much about that, because they know that most people that are interested on this camera, they are the people that do not mind having a focus puller, or them understanding that I still have to pull focus somehow to nail my shots. And a few things that I've noticed about the Pocket 6K Pro: this camera is very good. You have a very good image quality that I always say it's ARRI like. And when it comes to price to image ratio, you can agree with me, this camera, it's pretty much one of the best options out there, because you can see the Red Komodo, you can put the FX6, you can put the Sony a7S Mark III, you can bring any Panasonic or any other camera that you have. When it comes to saving money and the image quality that you get, you would notice that the Blackmagic still have an edge, because it is affordable and you can pick it up and at a very affordable price. And some of those cameras that I've noticed, yes, they are 6K and they are affordable, and sometimes the image is not even that good, and you have to do so much to get a better image out of those cameras. And some of them only have a 4K limitation, meaning they are not future proof. So if you understand all those things about the Blackmagic Pocket 6K and 6K Pro, you would be ready to use this camera with a different mindset, knowing that, okay, this is my contribution to helping this camera to capture this footage, and then let me do what I can so the camera can also produce amazing quality. So there's a few ways that I've used this camera, and some of them have been music video, and I do like using this camera on music video for a few reasons. One of them is the image quality and the lens flexibility that you can actually add to the EF mount, and you get amazing image quality, you get so much dynamic range. And if you have a good lighting, good production design, and a very good colorist, you can pretty much match this camera with any other camera out there, just in case you're using one as A and B. Also, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema cameras are very popular B camera option that people use a lot, because they have noticed how much these camera are and how much they are pretty much offer the best image quality. And another way that I have used this camera is by shooting like corporate videos. And with corporate videos, you do really need to impress the client by offering them something that is very good and something that sell the whole experience around their business or project. And one of the ways that I do that, obviously I have to think about what they want, think about what their customer wants, also bring in a camera that's going to give me more image quality or better image quality. And if you are in London, and if you live whichever country you live in, and you do love a genre of music called drill, I'm sure you have watched Plugged In with Fumes, and I'm been the guy behind the camera, and this is one of the most interesting projects that I get to shoot, or I used to shoot, with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro. And first of all, I'll tell you, the camera was set to kind of like a tripod in the studio. I'll put a picture here and some other BTS on screen. And the reason why I actually prefer to use this camera, because one, I was shooting in 6K, and sometimes I'll have a digital zoom, or I'll zoom in and out without losing some quality. And another thing that I used to love this camera, using it with Plugged In, is that you get the best quality possible. It renders skin tone very nice, and it does not look a bit video-y for me. And that is what always brings me to use the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro. And in overall, with the content that I've showed with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro online, they rack over 100 million views, and I know that is a lot. So I've done some plugged in with Trems, that's like over 1 million view. I've done a plugged in with C1, that's again over 1 million view. The recent uploaded plugged in special, again, that is over 1 million views. I've also shot plugged in with Lucio, plugged in with Code from France, and a lot of plugins that I don't even remember, but I will keep putting some footage on screen and see how many views those content have generated. And when you watch them, you would see that this camera is actually a very good option. And trust me, the environment that we shoot the plugged in video, it's very fast paced and it's very quick, because sometimes the artists will come to the studio and listen, they might have 2 takes only. They might just be like, listen, I want to go in and out. And since you guys said this camera is very bad with autofocus, for me, I've actually managed to find a way to make it work for me. That is one of the most important things. So of course, I still have to use other cameras, hybrid camera or mirrorless camera, when I need to shoot super fast, or when I need to shoot something with autofocus. But I'm very happy with the Blackmagic, and I just wanted to make this video showing you that yes, the camera does not have all these things that you say it doesn't, and you, my friend, also there's a responsibility that you need to understand, or there's a contribution that you need to bring to this camera so you can elevate its value and elevate what it does. And that is you understanding that you need to power it, and you need to find a way of using it on either a gimbal, or also just finding your better way to pulling focus. And when it comes to the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro and the FX6, that is a video that I'm making, and I'm actually about to finish it. And something that I have found is that the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro is still a way better option, and it's very affordable. And compared to the FX6, listen, there's so much that you need to do for you to get a great image quality out of that camera. And one thing that I've noticed with the Pocket 6K Pro is that there's so much layer to the image of the 6K Pro that I feel like I'm missing with the Sony FX6. And obviously that is subjective, and some people would admit it and some people would say no, because they are really attached to the brand that they use. But for me, it's the image quality that matter to me. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here, my name is Kashilembo, and I'm a DP director based in London. And on this channel, we talk about filmmaking and basically anything that helps you to improve